my loves, and welcome back to the Know Who You Are podcast. I am your host, Tamisa D. And over here on this podcast, I do have daily, weekly discussions about things that are occurring on a day-to-day basis in my life and putting those life lessons into context so that we could all grow, flourish, love, and prosper together. Listen, do I have a conversation piece for you guys today? Join in on the conversation by leaving a comment below. Don't forget to like as well. Listen, we are talking about the state of mind. And when I say state of mind, I mean, what environment is your mind dwelling in? What is the environment of your mind? And let's put that into context, right? We all live in different cities and states. Me, I live in Miami. The state of Miami is known, although the state is Florida. You can't tell a Miami person they live in Florida, FYI. Right? So living in Miami, the state of Miami culture is fast-paced. Spanish food, Spanish music, lots of nightclubs, a lot of things to do towards the beach, and it's just a lot going on. It's a party city. It's somewhere you come to enjoy yourself, to let your hair down, and to really just emerge in different cultures, because we are a huge melting pot here in Miami. You have all types of different cultural backgrounds that live here, and you immerse in that lifestyle here in Miami. The state of Miami, I will say, is a party city. It's a party city, right? What is the state of your mind? Now, the mindset is established attitudes that you already have in place. It's like your outlook on life. What lens, yeah, that's good. What lens are you looking through life through, right? It's like perception versus reality, right? You can perceive one thing, but is that truth, right? Are you holding yourself accountable for the way that you are maneuvering with your mindset? Mindset health is important too, not just your physical well-being, not just your spiritual, although that is huge. Your mindset matters because the mindset ties in all of these attributes together. What are you constantly thinking about? If a situation was to arise, do you automatically go negative? Or do you see the good in it? Can you lean towards the positive? Are you an optimist? What is the environment of your mind? Because sometimes we have to really go in and we have to reconstruct the very foundation that our mindset is built on. Because a lot of the times, the things that we're constantly thinking about, the way, our thinking patterns, the way that we think about things, the way that we believe in things, right? The way that we have faith is based on how we was brought up. And sometimes those ways were toxic. Now, some people may have had the white picket fence and the happiness and the affirming over them. But for the majority of people, especially the ones that I know and for myself, that was just not the reality of how I was brought up. So it's a lot of things that in my mindset, my outlook on life had to be reconstructed into who I desire to be, into how I desire to think and to maneuver through life. My attitude towards different life things, right? What is your mindset environment looking like? Is it cluttered in there? Is it clean, like the cleaner just left your house clean? What does the environment of your mind look like? What are you constantly feeding your mind? Do you hold yourself accountable for your thinking patterns? If a situation was to occur, say for instance, someone cut you off on the road, do you automatically go from 0 to 100 and ready to pull up and cuss the person out? Or do you say, God be the glory, they didn't hit me, let them go ahead and I pray they get to where they're going successfully without hurting someone else along the way? What is your mindset environment built upon? Because having a toxic mindset is detrimental to your growth. It's also detrimental to building relationships, successful, positive relationships. Let's talk about it. If you see the negative in every single thing, if you're assuming all the time, how can you have a healthy relationship? Because to have such a toxic mindset, that's an unhealthy relationship with yourself as well. Because you're not giving yourself that refreshing feeling of positivity, of being able to think differently if you're always stuck in negative. That's not good for you. That pushes you into a dark place, a place that you should not be. Because let me tell you something. To have a healthy environment, to have a healthy environment inside your mind, it takes work. A lot of the times we could look at things that's happening in life. And for instance, strolling on social media. Every other post, depending on what you're following, of course. But sometimes you cannot predict what's going to pop up on your page. Things just get thrown at you. And now they have this thing where you can run ads on social media. So there's no telling what will pop up on your timeline. There's no telling what you will see, right? So let's put this into context. I'm strolling on social media. Say I'm strolling on Instagram or I'm strolling on YouTube, and this thing pop up, and negative thing after negative thing. A killing pop up, and now an animal being ran over pops up, and then a domestic violence assault pops up. All of these things are going into my subconscious mind, right? They're going into my subconscious mind. And that's the same way with our walking life, right? The things that you're constantly thinking, that's what's programming your mind. And that's what your output is going to look like. Your outlook contributes to your output. Remember, your outlook contributes to your output. So if you're constantly dwelling on negativity, that's what you're going to push out. That's what you're going to birth out. What does your mind environment look like? What does it consist of? Is it a healthy and comfortable landing spot for your thoughts? What does it look like in there? Right? And having a negative outlook, having a negative environment inside your mind is detrimental not only to you, because you don't give yourself that breath of fresh air of actually having positivity brewed inside of you. It affects your relationships with others, because people don't want to be around no negative person 24/7, especially if they're in a growth mindset. Like attracts like. If my mindset is optimistic, although I am logical, and I know that things in life is going to happen. Life is not happening to me. It's happening for me. Yes, messed up things happen, but I do not have to sit in that. I do not have to dwell in that. I can move forward. But that takes building a healthy environment inside of your mind. Everything starts within your mind first. Visualization, right? Seeing things before it happens, actually believing that it's possible for it to happen for you if your circumstance is not ideal right now. That takes having a positive and healthy mindset. That takes having a healthy environment inside of your mind. What does your environment look like in there? Does it look cluttered? Like you need to do some spring cleaning. You know, when spring come around, everybody begins to spring clean their house, and they begin to take out the things that they no longer need. You put up your winter coats. You get rid of things that are no longer useful to you, right? It's time to do a spring cleaning on your mindset. It's time to go within yourself, go deep within yourself, really sit with yourself and figure out what is the things that I am constantly dwelling on and thinking of that is hindering me, that is not helping me. What is the things that's causing me to push people away from me when they're actually good for me? Because not everybody is meant to be cut off, but sometimes people get tired. They get tired of sitting around waiting for you to realize that I'm actually good to you, and you're constantly treating me as a punching bag. Be able to evaluate your life not only for the people who you need to separate from, but for the people who you need to treat better before they step away from you. It's time to hold yourself accountable for the environment that you're sitting in inside of your mind. Because before anything could change in your physical and walking life, it must first change inside of your mind first. What are your beliefs built on? How do you view yourself? What do you think of yourself? What do you think of others around you? What do you think about actually stepping into success? Are you ready for that? It all starts in the mind. You must build up your mindset. You must build the way that you see life. You must change the lens of how you're seen. Because see, a negative mindset, when you look through that lens, you see confusion, you see negativity, you see blurriness. It's like blurred lines. But when you change that lens and you're looking at your life from a different perspective, and you're building upon your mindset in a positive manner, now you can see clearly. You're leaning into who God says you are, and you're changing your outlook on life for the better. And once you begin to do that, you're reconstructing your mind. You're taking away all the things that once were, and you're rebuilding on your new belief system, right? It's going to change your physical world as well. It's going to change the people you have around you. It's going to change the people you attract to you. It's going to change the opportunities that's presented to you. But it all starts here. It starts here with the things that you're thinking about. It starts here with doing a spring cleaning on the environment of your mind. In the Bible, it says that the Spirit of God is next to godliness, cleanliness. Y'all get what I'm saying? So if you want God to dwell in you, if you want God to dwell around you, you have to do some cleaning. You need to go deep in and do some deep spring cleaning in your life, in the environment of your mind. It all starts with making the choice to make the change. There is absolutely no way that you can progress in life if you're constantly staying stuck in the same thing you've been stuck in for the last 10 years. There has to be a change. And it starts here. It starts here. It starts with